Welcome to episode 30 of the Dark Tower. Today, I probably won't do a whole lot with this farm that we set up last time because I'm still missing a few key portions. Namely, not quite sure how to power it at the moment. And I don't really have a good tree, but I did get some more slime balls. So I can make the tank. If I can find my wood, there we go. I have a few of these somewhere. That should be sufficient. Now, I don't know how many of you got this last time, but I'm currently attempting to raise funds for a trip to Minecon. And it'd be really cool if you could pitch in if you like the mod and the series. But just want to throw that out there. But anyways, we want to do this, we need a grate, or whatever it's called. Valve. Farm valve. To do that, I need a block. The tank will output to any liquid container, including this valve thingy that I need to make here in a second. Which needs a tin gear and some glass. I suppose I should mention that if you do wish to donate, you need to go to my blog at railcraft.info to do so. And of course, you can still get beta access if you do that, so. Really, the Railcraft Dev IRC channel could use some new blood. Forgetting what I'm doing. I was attempting to make a gear. So, yep, tin gear. My farm block, and why do I have no glass? Wrong table. Okay, so that's a farm valve. It will accept liquids. Now I talked to Sanger about how these farms work a little bit, so specifically, if it never rains in a dry climate, it can get extremely difficult to keep a farm hydrated. Like, impossibly difficult. But since I'm not trying to build a farm in a desert, and we're in a damp biome, I shouldn't have too much problems. I may move that eventually. I'm not sure I like the way that looks. It's a little bit imposing. But we'll leave it like that for the moment. As you can see, it's already started to provide it with water. because we're in a damp biome, this thing's producing quite a bit of water. Now there's some rules about how a water tank produces water. Specifically, if it cannot see the sky, the water produced is halved. If it's raining, it's doubled. If it's snowing, it's halved, because frozen water doesn't collect very well. And otherwise, it's based on the humidity of the biome it's situated in, with deserts basically being nothing and damp biomes being the best. I'm not quite sure exactly how damp this biome is comparatively, but if I look at this, it's 120%. If I had to guess, I'd say 200 would be the max. I don't know. I think vanilla swamps are the dampest biomes in vanilla, so. But this should produce enough water to keep the farm going, particularly if it rains. You see, if it rains, it greatly decreases the amount of hydration required. Not that I've seen it rain all that often. I also need to provide it with dirt. And I'm not quite sure. I think the dirt goes in here. But because they're not really marked and they'll let me put it in either side, I always forget which side it goes in. So we'll just leave that for the moment. I still need to provide it with power. Actually, I think we'll take this out for the moment because also shift clicking is broken. I need to provide it with power still, which means I need to give it a great gear? I don't know. Gearbox, which is 3 tin gears in a farm block. Now this I wanted to put down below. So you see I prettied up the floor a little, except I think my pattern might be backwards, but depends on what I do with the other floor. So we need items and power, so put that along one wall. So right here's good. I don't know if farms drop their items when you break them. All of my multi-blocks would. So we need to make 3 more gears, but we need some more sticks. That should do. And finally tin. farm block gives me a farm gearbox where I attach the power source to the farm. Now, as specified for the moment, it'll probably be one of these biogas engines, but let's go ahead and make one of those. Here, it's made with bronze, which I had some somewhere. Got a couple of copper gears. It's not quite enough bronze. Here we go. Biogas engine. Some lava. And need some biomass. It does not work when your inventory is full. So if we attach this down here, now we need to go back up top and put some other stuff in there. For the moment, I'm just going to use these saplings. Nothing particularly special about this tree other than that it was easy to cut down. It's some random hybrid. Now we need some sand. Okay, so I lied, and I am actually going to get this thing running. I made more fertilizer than I needed. So I can turn this on now and go back up top. And it will be planting. I suspect that this is, yes. We'll let that do its thing for now. The other thing I wanted to do today was build a platform for my down by my the tree breeding apparatus. To make it easier for me to collect the whatever they're called, pollinated. So what we're going to do is come up here like so, maybe. Put these planks up here like this. Now, of course, it's getting dark again. Supposedly bees like to be able to see the sky. I did some tests and frankly could not get them to ignore or get them to stop reading, so I don't know whether they actually do need to see the sky or not, but we will go ahead and leave a gap. Bring it all the way over here. Because I know some of you were mentioning that you wished somebody'd make a ladder. And I looked around, and the closest thing to a ladder I know of is industrial craft scaffolding, which I would be probably building this with scaffolding if I had industrial craft installed, but I do not. Although admittedly I do miss scaffolding and a few other things. The more utility items rather than the power items, but still not prepared to actually install industrial craft. Just for those items. Particularly since I want to do something a little bit different this time. Okay. That should not interfere with anything, hopefully. And allow me to... almost allow me to approach the trees from any position, but I need a ladder first. And it's possible that I need some more wood. So I do not believe I can put ladders on fence posts. Which would be utterly awesome, but I don't think I can do that. No. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and clean out this one tree here. And cut it down for its wood. And we'll have to inspect those later. I can see tree breeding being a lot more difficult than bee breeding because you have a lot less control over which plant the tree decides to mate with. Okay, I was slightly worried that I wouldn't be able to get up here because of the half slabs, but it worked fine. It should make things a bit simpler. That I probably know what it is. Nothing particularly exciting. Looks like a good one to replant though. anyways, that will allow me to access the tops of the trees a hell lot easier. While we're at it, let's grab some of these. That one looked interesting. I'm sure there's more, but I don't want to put my glasses back on. That wasn't what I wanted. Common beech sapling and silver lime sapling. Silver lime and common beech. And an apple oak silver birch cross. So, do not know where to plant these. So I think I'll just stick them in here for the moment. I can probably carve a little at this hillside here. Give me a bit more room. Like so. And it's getting dark. Not quite sure what the range on those bees are, so I'll probably need a couple more bee houses, but and I do not believe I actually have any stone at the moment, so I got a whole lot of room up here. should probably cut that down. I don't know. I'll think about it. Landscaping is hard to undo. So, I like to make sure I know what I'm doing before I get started. And it looks like my farm is working quite well. I suppose it probably still has fuel, hopefully. Oh yeah. Quite a bit of fuel still. So we'll let that run for a while and get some stockpile of wood built up before we move on to actually fueling the boilers. Anyways, that seems to be working. If you were curious about my bees, they're not really doing a whole lot at the moment. Still attempting to breed a cultivated, but it's been giving me issues. As you can see, actually that one's not too bad. I think I'm getting closer. Yep, I will soon have a purebred cultivated that can function in a damp biome. The other bees, I'm just trying to purify certain traits, basically. So, anyways, this episode's probably running a little long by now, so I'm going to wrap it up here, and once again, go check out the blog. And yes, Buildcraft is available, and Railcraft will soon be available. Soon, probably being within the next 2-3 days, probably. I've been fixing a few bugs today and yesterday. But basically I just need to package it up now and get it out there. So, anyways, this has been episode 30, and that means a world download, which I'll get up there at some point, which can also be found on my blog. So, hope you enjoyed this episode as well, and happy tree breeding, and I will catch you next time.